Hey everybody, it's Kevin from 3D Printed Props, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I got this Bullfighter statue from the Part 1 Dune movie to have this really cool brassy patinaed look. Super fun to do. I love painting these sort of aged metal looks. Now, if you want to print one of these out yourself, you can get the files over at my website, 3dprintedprops.com. And if you are interested, I've got a Patreon page I've started. If you are interested in 4 files a month, sometimes 5, a lot of times I throw a bonus file in, for $12, head over there, the link's below. Again, new Patreon, really excited about it. I've always wanted to start one. And again, 4 files a month, most of the time 5, $12. There's other tiers, but that's the lowest one. So if you're interested, check it out. So let's go ahead and get to work on this statue. Okay, so here's the raw print, and it was done on my Peoploy Forge with Siraya fast resin, and we're going to make it look like this, raw print to a metallic look. Now, you know, there are going to be some things you've got to do, some cleanup you have to do. Here's some little, jaggies from supports. There's the hole in the bottom I'll plug up. Now, for the really rough stuff, I'm going to go ahead and hit that with an 80 grit. And for the lighter stuff, the more delicate stuff, usually like a 220, then a 300. I'm not going crazy with this one because it is like an old brass statue type thing, so I want it to have some imperfections. Now, I use these little files I love. All tools are in the description below to get into those rough spots. Now you can see it is very gritty, very sandy. That's why I make sure you're using a respirator, and I wash it thoroughly, soap and water. I prime it, and I use some glazing putty. If you're interested in the type of glazing putty, go ahead and take a look at the links below and in the description. Now I'm starting the paint job with my Vallejo paints, and you might be thinking, this looks way too dark, Kevin. Well, it is, because what you want to do is you want to really build up your colors. I usually start with my shadows and my darker tones, and then I work my way up. So I just use a hairdryer. Now we're going to use some brassy bronze, and we're going to start adding the highlights. Now I'm using this really sort of stiff bristled brush, cheapy brush I found at Walmart, with this brassy color, and it's sort of a mix between dry brushing, and sometimes there's a little bit more on the brush, and you can see right off the bat at how stiff those bristles are that it really gives me this sort of brushed metallic look, and that is what I'm going for. And sometimes, like I said, there's less paint on the brush, and I'm really just sort of rubbing this thing all over just to add that little bit of a sheen of highlight to it. But since the bristles are so stiff, again, it's giving me those sort of like scratch lines. And where I'm adding the most highlights really are areas that you might like touch with your fingers, or sharp corners that when you touch them or they move, you move the piece, it rubs away some of the patina, some of the age, or it polishes it. So on these like edges and things like that, think of when you see statues, and do that. Google, Buddha statues and things like that, and you'll see a lot of times where people rub them, right, the stomach, then you'll see it looks brighter. So we're going to use some glorious gold now and add even more highlights. And you can see again how this brush really makes those highlights stand out. I got a little bit too much paint on there, but that's okay. In the end, it's all going to work out. You can rub a little bit away with your finger. You can let it dry, and you can go over with the other tone. Just don't be discouraged and just keep working at it. And again, I'm hitting those highlights, and I'm really sort of building up this next level of color to give it this sort of metallic bronze look. And so far, I am really, really happy with it. Again, hit the chrome dome here a little bit more, just so he can really sort of shine. Again, maybe that's an area you touch or you move him by there, and you really want to have those highlights where they make sense. You wouldn't have them in the creases. You wouldn't have them like under the bull, because you're more likely not going to touch there. But right on those edges, you're definitely going to see some wear and some shine. So I'm going to make sure I hit all of those. And, then it's time to weather, and that's what I love to do. So we got a little bit of black, a little bit of water, and again, you're telling your story here. So where are you going to be putting these bits of grime? You're going to be putting them in the cracks. You're going to be putting them maybe under the animal, under the cape, under the guy, where you know, you might not clean, or just dust or dirt or grime would accumulate. And sometimes I'm wiping it off with a finger. Other times I'm using a paper towel. The paper towel wadded up gives it that sort of natural look. Whereas if you do it with a brush, it'll look brushy. So then I'll go through and I'll actually just put some paint on the paper towel like that, and you can see how it really looks more natural than a brush stroke. And I'll do that all over the model. And you can see now we built it up and we got that look. Now I'm going to use this wash, and this is I love these washes. They're like transparent paints, and they just go on really nice. And I'm using that same stiff bristle brush, and I'm creating like little spots, little wear spots, you know, little pocks in the metal. And I'm going from a light brown that was a darker brown wash, and I'm just hitting it everywhere. And I'm moving. Sometimes I'm closer, sometimes I'm farther away, and that's going to vary the size of the dot. And then we're going to go ahead and go with a black. And here you can really start seeing how I'm putting that down. And you can get a feel that this metal it's old. It's had all types of wear done to it. And it is really starting to sort of come alive and look more metallic. Now, the last thing I wanted to do is use this. It's sort of that green patina of Vallejo. I love this stuff. I didn't want to put it on too thick like I just did, and then I wiped it off with my finger so it looked blue. I wanted even that to look aged, like, you know, people had made maybe some attempt to sort of get rid of the corrosion. Think of this, we're on Arrakis, right? This is an ocean planet, salt water, salt air. It would do a number on metal surfaces. And this thing is old, right? This was the great-grandfather's when he was a bullfighter. And again, we're just adding this around. I'm putting it out with my finger. I'm putting it out with a brush. I'm going to go through again and put it out with a paper towel because you can really get that natural look when you do that. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, stipple it on. That really, really helps give it that more sort of natural, real effect. Don't overdo it. Just have fun with it. And when you think you're going too far, stop, because you probably are. And here it is, you know, super happy with this. Again, I'm like addicted to this movie. This is on my desk, and I'm probably going to make another one so I can have one on my desk at work. So there's one at home and one there, but you can really see that it looks old. It looks like it's a worn piece of metal, and I couldn't be more happy with it. This thing just really came out really great, and I love it. And so if you want to print out this file for yourself and get this cool look or whatever look you want, go ahead and head over to my website, 3dprinterprops.com, coupon code below, and check out my new Patreon. 4 to 5 files a month, $12, and there are other tiers. Check it out if you're interested. It's been a fun process I've been really enjoying. And again, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, hit like, subscribe, hit the little bell. More videos coming out. Sorry if there was such a wait on there. The holidays kicked my butt. Wasn't feeling well. I'm sort of back in action now, and you can expect more regular videos as we used to do before. All right, guys, take it easy. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.